guys, so welcome to another WoW Weekly with Myst, and this week we have one hell of a video. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, but as always we will start with what's going on for events and stuff. So we have pet battles as our weekly event. Worth sneaking in that the Garrison pet group that allows you to power level will be available on Friday, and that will connect with the pet battle week, which means Friday is a really good day for pet leveling if you want to get a bunch of pets from 1 to 25. That is for NA servers. I used to focus that. I have a lot sitting at 25 now because I used to always focus it, but if you do focus it, you can get easily at least 20 pets. It depends how much you want to focus it, because you're looking at the same scenery nonstop. Secrets of Azeroth has been going on. I cannot wait for this event to end. I feel like I've had enough of it. I highly will suggest that if you haven't been doing it every day, then you're the smart one, because I think this event would go so much better if you were like doing a bunch of stuff for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days and then just being done, right? Yeah, I think it's the fact that you're doing it like every day for 14 days that really kind of drags it out and makes it a little tedious later on. So anyway, yeah, that ends on Thursday. Well, technically, I believe it's Wednesday, and then like Thursday it ends at 3 p.m. Pacific. So they just kind of give you that extra day. I don't know why though. Like I feel silly even saying it ends on Thursday, because like it really doesn't end, you know? Like it ends on the calendar on Thursday, but literally it's not a time limited event, you know? It was supposed to be, and it was advertised as one, but yeah, there really is no end. You know, you could do it whenever you want. It's just gonna be removed from the calendar. So in other words, clues and secrets and hints will just stop, you know, because you'll be done. But you know, calendar wise, it ends on the Thursday. Arena Skirmish will also be this week, and then a PvP Brawl will be Deep Wind Dunk. So a pretty chill week, which I could do. I could totally do a chill week. I have definitely felt overworked this week. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a nice chill week. And which is good, because I think my Disney Dreamlight Valley update is probably going to show up on Friday. So yeah, I'm waiting to hear on that. I want to do a Friday stream for you guys. But I also, in Disney Dreamlight, it's going to be my favorite character coming in. I'm going to want to record it. And yeah, so I'm just waiting to see if that's happening on Friday. If it doesn't, I totally plan on doing a pet leveling day. Yeah. So it really just depends on what's going on for my other game. And that will determine whether we do a stream or not. It never affects the videos, but stream-wise, sometimes it does. So that's what's going on this week, guys. So this week we got, you know, there was a lot going on. It's been a busy week in WoW, and then on top of that, the 10.2 PTR dropped, and there's been a lot of stuff going on with that. So let's get into that. So 10.2 is going to be the next major patch, and it is called Guardians of the Dream. We will be going to the Emerald Dream. And when they first announced the Legendary, I think myself, and I'm sure many others, really thought it was going to be a Druid Legendary. It turns out it isn't. It is a strength weapon, So it is good for Death Knights, Paladins, and Warriors. I've been considering maybe, dusting off my Paladin because I did just buy a lot of Paladin stuff in the trading post. Well, technically just one Paladin thing, but there is like another thing I bought that could go on a Paladin. And so maybe it's a good time to like actually play some of the Paladin next patch. That doesn't mean I'd be letting go of the Druid though, because the Druid did get some stuff which we will go over in a bit. But this is the weapon here, and it does look pretty badass, I will say. Yeah, it does look like a very cool looking weapon. Technically, the Legendary has no class ties to it, but, you do gotta be able to use an axe, So, and it does have strength on it, so it's like, yeah, I guess there's no class ties, but there kinda is, So, of course, with the 10.2 will be Season 3, and they did mention that the Revival Catalyst will be available during the first week of that season, and the charges will be once every 2 weeks. On that topic, we do know the dungeons that we will be having for Season 3. So the rotation is going to be Dawn of the Infinites, which is, of course, broken into 2 sections. And for Legion, we're going to have Darkheart Thicket and Blackrock Hold. For BFA, we'll have Waycrest Manor and Ataldazar. And then WAD will have Everbloom. And then Cataclysm will have Throne of the Tides. Me personally, I finally did go into Dawn of the Infinites, and I love it. Yeah, I really like that dungeon, so I'm happy to see that one in. Plus, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems kind of weird that the expansion is Dragonflight, and there's only 2 Dragonflight dungeons in the rotation. Oh my goodness. It's just like, I know that's what people want, but it's so weird to me. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? But anyway, it's like, yeah, it's just so weird. It's so weird to have like next to no Dragonflight dungeons in a Dragonflight Season 3 M+. But out of the list, I'm cool with the Dawn of the Infinites. Darkheart Thicket, I always really enjoyed. Blackrock Hold is, I like the dungeon, but once you start getting on high keys, that place can be pretty rough. Granted, I'm remembering it from when I first started M+, and when was that? That was in Legion. And yeah, that's when they were more or less testing out M+. There wasn't a whole lot of us that really cared for it because mounts weren't part of it yet. I feel like the M+ community grew when KSM became a thing, which that didn't become a thing till the final season in BFA. So yeah. I felt like they were, honestly, they were tougher, but Legion has always been my favorite time frame for M+. Yeah. Waycrest Manor is one of my favorites, so that's a great BFA one. Ataldazar is okay. I feel like I've just ran it a lot, so yeah. Everbloom, I think someone's crazy over there for throwing Everbloom into the situation. Plus, didn't we have Everbloom last expansion as a returned M+? Pretty sure I remember that. And Kata, Throne of the Tides. I like Throne of the Tides. Yeah. I guess we'll see how it does on an M+. Not a bad list. So that is the list that we will have for Season 3 M+. The gear upgrade system, more specifically, is receiving some quality of life changes. And so the hero upgrade track is increased to 6. It was 5. Myth upgrade track increased to 4. It was 3. Crests are now a currency and will no longer take up inventory space, so that's a nice one. Fragments have been removed. Crests can now be traded up for higher level crests once reaching the lower level crest item level or higher. PvP gear can now be upgraded with Flightstone and Crest. Prior was just Honor. All PvP activities will reward Flightstone, and crests can be earned from rated activities. And then the crest cap is now 90 per week to purchase 6 upgrades. Okay, let's talk the Druid. You know, my favorite topic. I was super hyped when they announced the new Druid forms. I have been wanting a Boomkin customization for so long. For those that don't know me as a player, I have been Boomkin since vanilla, basically. You know, in vanilla, I was kind of like between Cat and Boomkin, but I still played Boomkin. And so I know the struggles of Boomkin and vanilla. And I just always stuck with it. And I've been looking at the same form for a long time. Like, the form was slightly different back then, but it's still basically the same. And the form is still the same. It's just different colors, but they're brighter. You know, before it was like, you know, a slightly different brown, you know. But now we have some bright colors in the mix. I'm sure you guys already know, you know, those that know me well, you probably already know what color we want. And if you don't, I will tell you, it's the middle one. Yeah, the purple and blue, which are my two favorites. So yeah, the green does look pretty cool, but we definitely go in purple and blue. So there have been some other Druid stuff. So the Firecat Druid form got updated with an HD model in patch 10.2. This looks fucking amazing. You know, one thing I have always said with the Firecat Druid is that while it looks cool, it still looks so old, you know? And this looks fucking amazing. Yeah, it will be able to be obtained. It does sound like you don't have to do anything for this form. It sounds like 10.2 will just kind of launch and it will just kind of overlap your Firecat and it'll just look better. It'll just be a automatic makeover. Okay, so here is a huge ass list of some forms. So this is still Druid stuff. So we have this Somnowl, or Somnowl. And then there's also these Dream Talons. And then we have some Dream Stags. This one I thought was really cool. The Whisker Fish, this legit is a mount. I have it. So yeah, clearly this is going to be a water form. And yeah, that would be badass because that fish mount looks pretty damn good, I will say. We also have the Dream Saber. And these look pretty badass. Yeah, I do like them. The Umbra Claw. And yeah, they look interesting. It's like bear meets owl, right? Rune Bear looks fucking badass, especially the blue, green, and purple. Man, I would totally roll with that guy. Bristle Bruin is kind of cute. It's like bear with some, you know, flowers in his fur. So that's basically it for Druids for now. Blood Elves got some new hair customizations. So you can see in this picture, green, purple, blue, and another shade of purple. I guess maybe pinkish. There was a Twitter post from WoW saying that there are future plans for making this set available. We're not yet ready to share. The set they're talking about is the blue Night Elf Heritage armor. A lot of people were asking about it after getting the Heritage armor Night Elf questline. So yeah, they do say it will eventually show up. Normally, it's like one thing for people to just kind of request stuff, but the thing is, this request does come from a place. WoW did tease the blue set, you know, so they kind of brought it on themselves for, you know, the players actually wondering where it was. Yeah. Some more transmogs for you. This is the Darnassus transmog, and this is the Silvermoon. They have a tab, cloak, and shoulders. We got some Dreadlord armor, and that looks pretty badass. I like it. And then there's some Tanaris Wasteland armor. Sarongs. Okay, that's quite the list. Okay, there's a lot in that one. Monk Orbs. Really? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can see the memes already. Forest Lord's Antlers. That's pretty badass. Yeah, that is a cosmetic piece that you can just apply to your character or your account. And this one's my favorite one out of this whole list, and it's wristwatches. And that's just a transmog I've never thought of, and I don't know why I've never thought of it, because legit, I am always wearing my Waste of Time belt. Yeah. Which makes me a little sad that there isn't like an all yellow wristwatch. I would love a wristwatch that goes with my Waste of Time belt. But I do like the idea, and I guess our closest one would be that blue and gold, right? Just use that one. But yeah, I love the idea of a wristwatch. You know, they could go one step further and actually allow the time to tick on it, right? Because, you know, server time, and your wristwatch could be like the server time. That would be badass. I would love that so much. Yeah, that's the thing with this game, is like it's an old game. It's 18, 19 years old, but there is just so much you can do with transmogs. You know, like you can just keep going. And like I know people say after like 20 years or whatever, you start running out of ideas, but I say no, you don't. Literally, I was raised on The Simpsons and they're still running episodes, so yeah, like you could just keep going. Okay, so more transmogs. We have the Scarab robes. So a lot of Scarab stuff. So we may be returning. We might have some AQ, you know, an AQ little revamp happening or something. So, so this is the Scarab robes. I actually have the originals of these. Except I don't recall the red being in there. But I've got a couple of characters that wear that yellow one, and then that turquoise one. Yeah. And I do have the pink one, but I don't think anyone wears it. You know what would be really interesting? I'm just gonna say, there's the micro event that is Call of the Scarab. It would be very cool if they were going to start actually putting rewards into those. You know, like, yeah, I have done videos on those, and I am always like asking myself, why am I doing a video on this shit when it, like, no one's going to do it, you know? There's no rewards. But I do it anyway because, you know, that's me. And, you know, maybe this is where this comes from, because we now have Scarab mounts and Scarab robes that will be in 10.2. So maybe they plan on adjusting these micro events and making them worth it, because I'm so sure Blizzard knows no one does them, right? Like maybe 10% of your population hops into a one-day event that has no rewards, you know? And it would fit the timeline as well, because the next call of Scarab will be in January, and it'll be near the end, but it will be in January, and we would be in 10.2 then. So it does kind of fit the timeline. But yeah, I would love to see that, because if they do it for Call of the Scarab, then they'll do it for the rest, right? And yeah, there's some cool little micro events, which could mean I already have this, but I get complimented on it all the time. But the Moonkin event, I have the Moonkin pets, and a lot of people have asked me about them before, because they were actually store pets and they got removed. But I always take them out around the Moonkin event, and yeah, that could be something they could throw into that event, right? There's so much they could do. And then there was also a lot of tier set appearances. So this one is for the Death Knight. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Evoker. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Rogue. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Warrior. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Warlock. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Hunter. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. The Shaman. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Paladin. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Mage. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. Demon Hunter. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. And Druid. So this is the Mythic set. This is the Heroic set. Normal set. Raid Finder. And PvP. This is the Monk set. So here we have the Mythic, the Heroic, the Normal, the Raid Finder, and the PvP. And the preset, so this is the mythic set. This is the heroic, normal, raid finder, and the PvP. Okay, so yay for me being a little late on the video, because if I hadn't been, we wouldn't have been able to sneak the priest one in, because last night when I was piecing everything together, it wasn't available yet. So, with that said, we were able to cover every class for the tier set, so that's cool. As far as the tier sets, I think they're all amazing. The only one I wasn't really fond of was the warrior set. But aside from that, they're all very sparkly and shiny, and I like shiny things, so that is a plus to me. So yeah, they're all very, very nice. They also did show us some new environmental doodads, pointing to holiday refresh and continued world revamp. Some midsummer fire festival stuff. I do really like that blue candle. Pilgrim's Bounty has some stuff. And Hollow's End. Man the Broom, right? Looks so good. Oh, apple bobbing. Old World updates. And football and soccer ball. I was really surprised to see that a lot of people didn't realize we had a football and a soccer ball already. I noticed that when I was looking at the comments. If you're unaware too, the pigskin and then the special edition football, they're both items you get from Wintervale. And you can keep them. They're legit toys. There's many toys where you like toss to a player, and if they have room in their inventory, it goes in their inventory, and then you can either be like me and say, "Suck it, bitches, I'm keeping it," or you can toss it back. I have so many of these because I never toss them back. I just keep taking the shit that gets thrown into my bags. So just to add to the holiday section here, there has been some new Winter Veil gifts. So here we have a couple of new toys. So Winter Veil socks and Junior Timekeeper's racing belt. There's a new Pepe toy, which is a sled. So that is super awesome. I love that. And here is some updated holiday decorations that you'll see during the next Christmas. And then the last item is this Dragonriding armor. So we've known about this armor for a bit, but we didn't know how it was gonna, come to us. And we still kind of don't, but there is an actual item in the game. So my guess is that maybe it's the gift under the tree for the year. Now, non-holiday related, but back to just regular transmogs and cosmetics. This is an orc-related cosmetic, so you can see it does specify orc or Magar orc. So one of the storylines out there involves a quest called Coalition of Flames. Basically, once you're done that, that will complete the storyline from Chandris and Valdrakken, and you get this item. You don't just automatically get it, it's hidden away inside a cave, but you need that quest or that storyline complete to go get it. Another transmog sort of thing is this cosmetic garden weapon. There's a few of them actually. So this is the Ranger longbow, and these are all cosmetics that you can just, hit use and apply to your account. This is the Caretaker trowel. Cultivator's watering can, Verdant Gleaner's scythe, Survivalist Shovel, and the Gardener's Light Staff. Okay, next up, Pathfinder. So we did find out that there will be a Pathfinder coming in 10.2. This will allow you to have some regular flying in the Dragon Isles. The achievement does seem pretty easy, so this isn't going to be like a rough Pathfinder or anything. Basically, they want you to finish all the Dragonflight main storylines. If you want to, browse your achievements while I'm telling you this. This would include Waking Hope, which is all the Waking Shore storyline. On a Roll, that's for all the storylines involving Anaran Plains. Azir Spanner is the achievement for all the storylines in Azir Span. Just Don't Ask Me to Spell It is all the storylines for Thaldraszus. And then Embers of Natharian is all the storylines for Zerla Cavern. And then there's Explore All Dragonflight Zones, so that would be Dragon Isles Explorer, and then Explore Zerla Cavern, and Explore the Emerald Dream. So obviously the Emerald Dream we would have to wait and do in 10.2. But everything upwards to now, you could do right now. And then there's one final achievement you'll need, and this one's an easy one too. And it is for Renown, and it doesn't even require it to be max. That's why I consider this one to be fairly easy. So it'll be Renown with a Valdrakken, a Scarab, Loam Niffin, Dragonscale, Merrick, and the Dream Wardens, which will be a new one in 10.2. And you just need to be 15 with those, which I think is, I think that's a very easy mode. Now, they do say that this isn't fully implemented yet, so there could be more stuff, but this is a pretty big list, so I would say if there is more, it's going to be like 1, maybe 2 extra achievements. It's not going to be much more than what you're seeing here. Okay, so also there'll be a new raid, of course, so Emdrassil, the Dream's Hope. And we do know the bosses. So we got Gnarl Root, Agira the Cruel, Volcaros, Council of Dreams, Loridar, Keeper of the Flame, Naimu, Weaver of the Cycle, Smolderon, Tindril, Sage Swift, Seer of the Flame. And then our final boss is, of course, Fyrak the Blazing. Here's some weapon models. So we have a one-hand axe, and they look pretty badass. I do really like those axes. And then the bows look amazing. I think I like the green one the best with the bows. We have some new guns. They look pretty cool. They got an interesting model. And then some glaives. The red one is looking real nice. Fist weapon. Those look badass. Yeah. I like that they're starting to do a little better with the fist weapons. Fist weapons for so long were just kind of mediocre. And yeah, those look really good. We have some daggers, one-hand mace. All those colors are really good, but I do think my favorite are the green and the blue. Two-hand mace. And some offhands. Some pole arms. And a lot of staffs. One-hand sword. two-hand sword, and that is the list. So that is a massive list and a lot of really nice transmogs there. Or I always say transmogs because that is like pretty much what everything is in my mind. But also weapons you could use that have decent stats. I think my mind always goes to transmogs though, because while I love looting weapons and all that, gear is not forever. You know, mounts, pets, and toys and all that is forever, but gear gets replaced real fucking fast. Yeah, so my mind just instantly goes to transmog. Okay, so there's also some tier set bonuses that were revealed for Dragonflight Season 3. It's quite the list. I don't want to read through it, to be perfectly honest with you. This video is long enough as it is. And not to mention, this is my third video for today. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Feel free to check out the link to see the tier set bonuses. Also, we discovered some PvP rewards, aspirant sets, a vicious mount, and gladiator mount. So here is some special effects from the weapons and trinkets that are in the new raid. Okay, so this next thing is something I'm also going to put in the description as a link, because I don't want to go too much over it, but there has been some class tuning and changes, some massive nerfs to Mass Dispel and Power Infusion. Feel free to check the description of this video, and I will leave a link to that one as well. Okay, so this mount might look familiar to you guys. This is the Grotto Netherwing Drake. I myself have this Drake, as I'm sure many of you guys do. You got it off the trading post in July. If you didn't, there's going to be a second chance for you to get it, and that will be through a quest in the Emerald Dream in 10.2. So another cool badass thing we found out is these mounts. So this is the Fell Reaver motorcycle. And goddamn, that purple and green looks so fucking good. Yeah. A lot of people have been saying that the model looks kind of crappy, but the thing is, like, this is a first look. Yeah, clearly it's gonna look better. But I think it just looks badass. And then there's this, the Verdant Armoredon, that's gonna be your Season 3 KSM. And the Mythic Raid Fire Owl. So this will be from killing Fyric on Mythic mode. We have the Renewed Proto-Drake Embodiment of Shadowflame. You will get that from the Heroic Fyric Manuscript Reward. And then the Renewed Proto-Drake Embodiment of the Blazing is going to be a rare drop manuscript from Fyric. And then we have the Companion Fairy Dragon. And the mount itself is showing as Flourishing Whimsy Drake. I can see in the tooltip that it comes from a quest. So it'll be a quest called Emerald Welcome. So you might get this early in. There's also the Sabertooth Raptor mount. These guys look pretty badass. And then there's the Green Dream Saber. Also the Lunar Dream Stag. Also, over on the PTR, on the calendar, there's more events for races. So there's the Outland Cup that will be January 11th to the 24th. And so this is all next year. And Northrend Cup is April 11th to the 24th. The Pandaria Cup is July 11th to the 24th, and then the Broken Isles Cup is October 10th to the 23rd. So we're definitely going to get a whole lot more of those races. Also some new creatures. So we have the baby saber-tooth raptor. Guaranteed these are going to be pets. Yeah, they are so adorable. The Dream Panda Polar. They are adorable too. They kind of remind me of, I feel like they could belong to the Night Fae. You know, they kind of have that look. There's the Duck Baby Explorer. I could see this guy being tied to a full-blown pet achievement. He is pretty badass, and he looks special. And I don't mean special like the short bus. I mean like he'd be part of some big achievement you would do. Yeah. So I could see there being a, you know, family familiar out in the Dream. There's also the Icon Feather. Pinecone Critter Brown. I don't see the Pinecone being a battle pet. I see this maybe just being a pet out in the world. Yeah. Shoulder Armor Fey Dragon. Some Skunks. Splinter Limb. Winds of the Isles. And those are some cool owls. I like them. These ones have no name, but they are cute as fuck. Yeah, I gotta imagine this is an upcoming battle pet. They are super cute. And one last thing I thought we would just kind of end our news off with is the new Stormwind portal room that will be in 10.2. Now, they've revamped it, and I do have another video that I did, just haven't edited it yet. And it was showing this off. So you will see another video on this showing it a little more. But the new Stormwind portal room has been expanded pretty big. It supports another 10 portals. And they basically just opened the doors to the second floor. I was wondering when they would do that. For those that maybe don't play Horde as well, Horde, their portal room is, and I'm probably the only person that will say this, but it is fucking awesome. I only ever hear people complain about the Orgrimmar portal room, and I don't get it because it's like a little mini house area. I fucking love it. There's a downstairs, which a lot of people probably don't even realize exists. But you got your main portal room that you walk into, which is right at the gates. And then there's actually kind of like a basement that you can go down. And I always wanted like Stormwind to have something like that, you know, since I'm main alliance. And they're, to be perfectly honest, the portal room in Stormwind is starting to get cramped, which is why they did it with the Horde one too. It was that it was starting to get cramped and they wanted to space it out a little more. And yeah, so this makes sense. I don't know if they were really joking about the next thing they mentioned with the portal room. They were talking about how they shouldn't need to update the portal room to like 2044. And yeah, and it's like, I don't know, as far as will WoW still be running in 2044? I've always, and people always laugh at me when I say it. I even have a video where a viewer in the video is, you know, pretty much arguing my fact in it. But I have always said that we will be dead before WoW is dead. So while that may be a joke, if you were to ask me if I think WoW will still be up and running in 2044, I would say yes. Yeah, I don't think the game is ever dying. The only thing that would ever truly kill the game is if they started losing a shit ton of money. And I mean a shit ton. Like, if they lost a bit, whatever, they'd still keep it going. You know, hell, if they lost even, you know, $1 million, they'd probably still keep going. Like, this is a game that makes them so much money. So yeah. And the thing is, people love transmogs, and that's what their game is built on now. You know, that's why they've been able to have a game with shit content and keep it running for as long as they have. It's because if you've got a loyal fan base and you can keep giving them mounts, pets, and cosmetics, then you don't need good content, right? Good content is always nice, and I would prefer the content over the collection, but the reality is if you're running out of ideas and you just don't know what to do, you just make new things, make new mounts, make new transmogs, you know? I think we are starting to get to the point where the collection is meaningless. You know, I don't care about my mount number or my pet number or even my achievement number anymore, because it's just, with achievements, I guess it's not like achievements is sitting in 100,000 or anything, but, you know, not yet. But with mounts and stuff, like, the highest mount collector I've seen in WoW is damn close to 1,000 mounts. And yeah, and that's just because he has whale type mounts, right? Mounts you'd get off eBay and shit like that. And yeah, and then every PvP mount, every gladiator mount, every M+ mount, you know, like, yeah. But I'd say on average, you know, the average person probably has between 500 and 800. And then there's that guy. Yeah. Okay, correction. I found this. So this guy actually has 1,008 mounts. And I just thought for shits and giggles, I would post this for you guys as well. So this is his overall WoW profile, which is like, it's so crazy to think, because I think about how I've been playing the game, and I've been nonstop since 2004. Like, his percentage is pretty good all around the place. So it's almost like this guy's been retired for 20 years or something, you know? It's really hard to believe that this is some 20-year-old or even 30-year-old that has these kind of stats, you know? Unless for some reason the guy doesn't need to work. But yeah, like, these are crazy numbers, because I do think about how I've played the game, and I have a pretty good collection, but I'd be even that much better if, you know, I didn't, you know, have the responsibilities I've had over the past 19 years. Okay, so I did look at his other, like, the main WoW profile. I'll just show you here. And I think the 1018 is definitely coming from other classes. I know for me, if I'm on my Paladin, I have a bigger mount number than when I'm on my Druid. My Druid, ironically, has, like, the lower mount number because there's not, like, a whole lot of class mounts that count. Yeah, because, you know, Druid, right? You know, a shapeshift doesn't count as a mount. So yeah, my number's always been more on Paladin and Warlock, I'd say. So looking at his profile, his actual number, because to me, the actual number is the number that comes up when you're on that character and you bring up your mount thing, right? Or else we all have more mounts than, we can more or less claim. But his actual number, I would say, is 936, which is still really fucking good. I was really surprised to see some of the mounts he hasn't collected, so he can definitely, he can definitely get even further, like the X45 Heartbreaker. Granted, it is a tough drop rate. I did spend 10 years getting that mount, but that's one he could add to the collection. It's actually easier to get now, so once February rolls back around. Winter Frost Saber, he could totally get that mount. That's an easy one. Yeah. And there's, it looks like he still needs quite a bit of the vicious mounts. And yeah, actually, let's look at his simple armory. Okay, I'm looking at his simple armory. So the mounts he's missing is Sanctum, which is Shadowlands. Okay, so he's got all the Dragonflight mounts, minus Patty that we're still kind of working our way to. Almost all the Shadowlands mounts. He's just missing Sanctum Gloomcharger, which drops off the 9 in Sanctum of Domination. So an easy farm for him. It doesn't take much to get in there. And then BFA, he's missing the Peacekeeper. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy, there. 0.5% mount. That is one of my weekly farms. But he's got all the rest of the BFA. I'm impressed that he's got all the Shadowlands crafted mounts, because that was boring-ass content. It was really hard to stay motivated when it was boring to craft all those. Legion, he needs the Shackled Urzul, which is the Argus. That's also one of my weekly mount farms. But he has everything else for Legion. And then all the Draenor, all the Myst of Pandaria. This part makes sense because I have all these too. Like, if you're a steady mount farmer, realistically, you should have everything up to, I would say, up to like Legion. And then for world events, he is missing the Heartbreaker and Patty's mount. He actually has the BlizzCon bear, which normally I would say he probably bought because most people do. But he does actually have the AQ mount. So it's quite possible he actually did attend BlizzCon to get that mount. But who knows? Who knows on that one? But I do find that most people that have the BlizzCon mount, which is the bear, I guess I should clarify, it's the first BlizzCon mount. And a lot of people bought it because they either weren't playing back then, or they didn't know BlizzCon was happening back then, or they just plain didn't get tickets or couldn't afford to go. Or yeah, for the most part, people, do buy that one off eBay. And the couple of people I know that have it, they don't even play the game. I find a lot of people that have that mount. They're people that left the game years ago. Yeah. But I would say out of all kind of unique, time-limited, hard to get mounts that people do have, that is kind of the one that people have because you can just go buy it off eBay. Not for cheap, I might add, but, if you are on a mission to, like, show off your collection or whatever, it's not like whales aren't a thing in the game, right? Yeah. He has all the TCG mounts, and he's caught up with the trading post, and the only black market auction house mount he is missing is the Plagued Proto. Okay, and he's just missing this season's Gladiator. It does look like he does every season. So, yeah, which is what I assumed when I saw his mount collection, because to have a collection like that, you can't miss a moment. You know, you've got to be part of mainly the PvP stuff. Like, if you want a major mount collection, you have to be doing Gladiator every season. Yeah, because that shit will really tick up your number. Yeah. The Vicious Saddles, they're decent, but you can always get those mounts. They do make it so you can purchase them later. But the Gladiators, they're gone. You know, you can't get them. You can't just go get them later. Same with KSM. KSM's like another one that, you know, you want to do every KSM mount. I always thought it was kind of silly that they count. Me personally, I don't think reskin should count. I think technically that's the same mount. You know, I've never really thought that reskin should count towards your number. Yeah. But that's just because I like my number to feel important, and, you know, yeah, I just never feel like it is when it's a reskin. But yeah, anyway, I thought I would just kind of add that in. I know that kind of like extended the video a bit, but, you know, it was already gonna be long, guys. So I just thought I'd add that in as a little extra info. I know my community is all about mounts and pets and all that, so I thought you guys might like that. So this currently is the number one guy. You know, his as of me doing this video, his total number is 1018. It just depends what characters he's on. The thing that kind of sucks with being a collector, and this is kind of what led me to like caring less over the years, but it is that every site has a different number for you. You know, on one site he's 1018 because that's his total across the board, every character. So we're talking class specific mounts and all that. If you look at his druid, he is, what was he? 936. If you look at his simple armory, he's 870. You know, so, and that's his druid's profile, right? So the number is like never the same anywhere. And so because of that, I have only ever trusted the in-game number. When you bring up your collection tab, when you're in the game, that's the number I trust. Anyway, that concludes our topic on this guy. This guy that we don't even know, but I thought we would, just add it in, and like, of course he'd be EU, right? I feel like EU are usually, if a player has like high statistics or they're really good at a game, or, you know, whatever the case is, they're always EU all the time. Yeah. Okay, so I know this video has gone a little long. It's mainly because of all the 10.2 news that we got. But I do want to sneak in a little classic WoW stuff here. So the first one is that the Wrath of Lich King Classic, not hardcore servers, Wrath of the Lich King Classic, because I know every time you mention classic WoW, your brain probably goes to hardcore. But the Wrath of the Lich King Classic servers have the Joyous Journeys buff back. They released it like as I posted last week's video, and I did throw in a quick little note on that, but just thought I'd let you guys know in this video that is going on. That is a 50% experience buff, and there is no current end date for it right now. And yeah, they said it's gonna extend past the ICC launch, which will be happening soon. So you've got tons of time. And yeah, I imagine they're probably working on, Kata releasing, and at BlizzCon we'll probably find out when that is, and they will probably just keep that buff going all the way till that, opens up. And yeah, that would be my guess. That's how it worked in the past. So now, as for the ICC release time and day for Classic WoW, that has not been announced, but it is very likely that it will be, like, a good estimated guess would be October 3rd. That is a Tuesday, and it kind of like fits in. And once again, the buff will still be there. So it's not like you gotta, get your characters all up to par right now for ICC. You could still do it while it's running. So that's an unconfirmed date, but that would be the date I would kind of like focus. That's around the time it would release. We should be hearing some actual confirmed news on that one soon, though. Especially if I'm right about it being October 3rd. It is already September 11th. And, damn, doing a news video on 9/11, huh? And the thing is, normally it would have been done yesterday, but I had to drag this out into 2 days, which may or may not make it a tad late today. But I'm doing my best, guys. It's been total crazy for video editing this past week or two. So yeah, there's that. And that's everything I got for some classic news for you guys. Not much going on for hardcore, so, everyone's just having fun doing hardcore. And yeah, let me know in the comments what level your hardcore character is if you are playing some hardcore. My character is still alive, but I have not been playing, like, day in, day out, Like, I've been super busy in retail. We will eventually get back to that hardcore character. And, yeah, because I gotta rip the Band-Aid off, right? We gotta take that death. It's like no one just keeps the hardcore character, right? We gotta take a fall. Myst's weekly update. Well, this past week has been crazy, as you guys know. So it's been crazy on the channel. That's gonna start calming down towards the weekend. And then, so this week, there's tons of the daily videos on the channel if you're going after the Patty mount. Tobias the Pet has been 100% solved. That video is on the channel, so you can definitely go get that. Mimiron's Jetpack was a mount that showed up for the Secrets event as well. That is 100% solved as well, and I posted that yesterday. So you can definitely go to the channel to check that out. And all of that should be like right recent. So yeah, you shouldn't have to really look too much further. Plus, for the time frame of the secret event going on, and I may just leave it up all month, I did make a playlist involving everything having to do with the secret event. So it makes it really easy for you to just like find those specific things. Also, one last thing I just want to throw in before we end is that when I did my last trading post video for this month of September, it was brought to my attention that there's a one item and one item only on that list that is not 21 days. So everything on this list is 21 days except for the staff that I froze is 52 or whatever it is. Well, we'll see when I unfreeze it. But yeah, I imagine it's because I did freeze it because I have the Transmog set from the shop, and it goes very well with that. And that Transmog set from the shop, you can actually buy it until the end of next month. So that's probably why it's a little longer. But I just want to let you guys know, for those that, you know, are interested in my trading post purchasing, that I did actually change my selection. So the pet is now frozen instead of the staff. I am broke for traders currency, so depending on what's on the shop next month, we might just still not get the pet and still freeze the staff. But at least in the off chance we can get the pet instead, then yeah. But I really don't see this panning out for us anyway, because next month there's going to be either a pet or a mount I'm going to have to freeze, right? So yeah, but for the time being, that's what I've done, and we'll just see how it goes next month. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you have a great week in WoW and a great rest of the time in the Secrets of Azeroth event. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.